Zhang Linghe proposes to Bai Lu. Shocking. The entertainment world has been rocked yet again, this time by a moment so raw, so breathtaking, and so unexpected that it has every corner of the fandom reeling. For months, speculation swirled around Zhang Linghe and Bai Lu. Whispers of late-night hospital visits, lingering glances on set, explosive arguments involving Dylan Wong, and even the heartbreaking collapse that nearly tore them apart. But just when fans thought the story had already peaked in drama and intensity, a single word, yes, set the stage on fire. Last night, under the golden haze of city lights, Zhang Linghe did the unthinkable. He went down on one knee before Bai Lu, ring in hand, eyes trembling with emotion, and asked her to be his forever. And what followed next? Absolute chaos, tears, and one of the most emotionally charged nights in recent memory. A proposal that no one saw coming. The night began quietly, or so it seemed. Bai Lu was invited to what she thought was a simple private dinner arranged by close friends to celebrate the end of filming. With the heavy baggage of her recent collapse, the hospital drama, and the constant storm of rumors with Dylan Wong, Bai Lu was hesitant. But when she walked into the candlelit rooftop, her world shifted. Everywhere she turned, delicate white roses lined the pathway, fairy lights glittered above like constellations pulled from the sky, and soft piano notes floated through the air. In the middle of it all, standing tall but visibly nervous, was Zhang Linghe. And then it hit her. This wasn't just another dinner. This was something bigger. Something life-altering. The build-up. Zhang Linghe's raw emotions. Those close to the actor reveal that Zhang Linghe had been planning this for weeks, perhaps even months. After Bai Lu's terrifying car crash, after watching her fight for her life in the hospital, something inside him shifted. Sources claim that Linghe told a friend, "I realized I could lose her at any second. I don't want to waste another day hiding how much I love her. She needs to know forever." And so, with trembling hands and a heart pounding against his ribs, Zhang Linghe prepared himself to ask the question that would change both their lives. "Will you marry me?" The moment that shook the industry. The scene itself felt like something out of the dramas both of them had starred in, but this time, it was heartbreakingly real. Zhang Linghe reached for Bai Lu's hand, dropped to one knee, and whispered, "Bai Lu, you are my strength, my chaos, my peace, and my everything. I can't imagine a life without you. Will you marry me?" The rooftop froze. The air itself seemed to pause, waiting for her answer. Bai Lu's eyes filled with tears, her lips trembling as emotions overwhelmed her. For a moment, fans might have thought she would faint again, but instead, she gasped, covered her mouth, and whispered, "Yes, yes, Linghe, I will." Fans in frenzy. Within minutes, shaky videos from insiders leaked onto social media. In one clip, you could hear Bai Lu's voice break as she said yes. Another captured Zhang Linghe sliding the glittering diamond ring onto her finger before pulling her into a desperate, tearful embrace. Hashtags like hashtag Zhang Linghe proposes, hashtag Bai Lu said yes, and hashtag dream couple engaged began trending worldwide within the hour. Fans were in utter disbelief. "We literally watched them go from hospital rooms to wedding rings. This is the love story of the century. Dylan Wong must be speechless right now. Someone check on me. I can't breathe. This is too beautiful." The shadow of Dylan Wong. But not everyone celebrated. Behind the glittering lights of this fairy tale proposal, a storm still brewed. Dylan Wong, once linked so heavily with Bai Lu, was said to be blindsided by the engagement. According to whispers, Dylan had reached out to Bai Lu just days before, attempting to clear the air about the swirling rumors. Yet, Bai Lu's decision to say yes to Zhang Linghe's proposal sent a resounding message to everyone, including Dylan himself. Insiders claim Dylan was crushed but chose silence, refusing to release any statement. However, fans speculate this silence speaks volumes, echoing the heartbreak of a man who has lost someone he once deeply cared for. Zhang Linghe's collapse, but this time from joy. Ironically, after Bai Lu said yes, Zhang Linghe himself nearly collapsed, though this time from sheer relief and happiness. Witnesses say his legs buckled beneath him, and Bai Lu had to hold him steady as he sobbed into her shoulder. "I thought I'd lost you once. I can't believe I get to keep you forever," he whispered through tears. That raw vulnerability shook everyone present, proving that this wasn't just a PR stunt or an orchestrated spectacle. This was real. This was love in its most desperate and unfiltered form. The ring that broke the internet. The engagement ring itself became its own headline. A glittering custom-made diamond with a subtle engraving inside. Forever, Linghe and Bai Lu. Fans zoomed into leaked pictures to catch the detail, crying over the symbolism. One fan wrote, "The engraving destroyed me. He really thought of everything." An unstoppable storm of emotions. As the night continued, friends and colleagues who had been invited to witness the moment began sharing snippets of the celebration, tears, laughter, hugs, and even Zhang Linghe's parents appearing from the shadows to bless the couple. Yes, this wasn't just about two people. This was about families, futures, and a love story strong enough to withstand crashes, collapses, and scandals. The future awaits. What's next for the couple? Neither has officially released a public statement beyond the viral proposal videos. Yet fans are already buzzing with speculation about the wedding. Will it be intimate or a grand spectacle? Will Dylan Wang dare to attend? And most importantly, how will this engagement reshape the landscape of their careers, already so heavily intertwined with each other? One thing is certain. The story of Bai Lu and Zhang Linghe has just entered its most dramatic and beautiful chapter yet. Closing thoughts. From hospital corridors where Zhang Linghe once cried out for Bai Lu to wake up, to the glittering rooftop where he asked her to stay forever, this is not just a love story. This is survival, passion, and destiny intertwined. And as Bai Lu's trembling voice whispered yes, the world realized something unforgettable. No matter how much chaos, heartbreak, or rivalry stands in the way, some love stories are simply unbreakable. The world has seen the glittering highlight, the knee drop, the trembling voice, the whispered yes. But what truly happened that night went far beyond a simple proposal. It was a night of raw emotion, breathtaking shocks, and unforgettable intimacy, one that will remain etched in the hearts of fans forever. The atmosphere, a rooftop wrapped in dreams. The rooftop where Zhang Linghe chose to propose wasn't just decorated, it was transformed into a scene that looked straight out of a timeless drama. Candles flickered in tall crystal holders, casting golden halos against the night sky. A string quartet played softly in the background, the melody swelling with each step Bai Lu took. But what stunned Bai Lu most were the memories woven into every detail. The roses? They weren't just roses. They were white, the very color Bai Lu carried the day she walked out of the hospital after her crash, clutching flowers Zhang Linghe had given her. The fairy lights? Arranged in constellations, spelling out the zodiac stars Bai Lu had once mentioned during a night shoot when she confessed she loved gazing at the heavens. Every corner whispered. He remembered, he cherished, he planned. Bai Lu's reaction. Tears that wouldn't stop. When Bai Lu entered the rooftop, witnesses say her hand shot to her mouth immediately. At first, she laughed nervously, unsure if this was real or an elaborate scene for publicity. But then her eyes locked with Zhang Linghe's, nervous, vulnerable, and trembling. That was when her tears fell, one after the other, cascading down her cheeks faster than she could wipe them away. Friends later revealed that Bai Lu whispered to herself, This feels like a dream I don't deserve." And yet, as Zhang Linghe reached for her hand, grounding her in that moment, reality became more beautiful than any dream. Zhang Linghe's nerves almost backing out. Unknown to most, Zhang Linghe nearly lost his courage minutes before Bai Lu arrived. Hidden behind the rooftop pillars, he was seen clutching the ring box so tightly his knuckles went white. His assistant later revealed that he muttered under his breath, "What if she says no? What if, after everything, I lose her again?" It took the quiet reassurance of his mother, who was secretly present, to steady him. She told him, "If her eyes light up when she sees you, she will never say no." And she was right. The proposal, an explosion of emotion. When the time came, silence fell like a heavy curtain. The quartet stopped. The candles seemed to hold their breath. Zhang Linghe, visibly trembling, dropped to one knee, his voice cracking as he asked the words he had been rehearsing for weeks. "Bai Lu, you are my beginning, my end, my everything in between. Will you marry me?" Bai Lu gasped, staggering backward as her tears doubled. For a terrifying second, everyone thought she would faint just as she had once in the hospital. But then, clutching her chest, she whispered, "Linghe, I never thought I'd find a love like this."
Yes.
1,000 times yes. The crowd erupted. Cheers, claps, and even sobs filled the air. The ring, a symbol of forever. When Zhang Linghe slid the ring onto her finger, flashes went off as friends captured the moment. The diamond sparkled under the rooftop lights, but what made it extraordinary was the engraving hidden inside. "Forever, Linghe and Bai Lu." As soon as Bai Lu read it, she crumpled into his arms, whispering, "You really thought of everything." The collapse, this time from joy. In a dramatic twist, it was Zhang Linghe who collapsed after she said yes. Overcome with relief, his knees buckled, and he nearly fell flat on the ground. Bai Lu caught him, cradling his face as tears streamed down his cheeks. "I thought I lost you once. I can't believe I get to keep you forever," he sobbed into her shoulder. This raw vulnerability, captured on shaky phone cameras, spread like wildfire online, painting a portrait of a man completely undone by love. Friends in awe. Witness accounts. Several close colleagues were present that night, and their accounts have only added fuel to the frenzy. One actor who attended confessed, "I've seen Linghe act 1,000 emotional scenes, but this was no performance. It was the truest thing I've ever witnessed." Another revealed that even the staff working the lights were crying silently in the background. The parents' entrance, blessings that shocked everyone. Just when everyone thought the night couldn't get more emotional, Zhang Linghe's parents stepped out of the shadows. They had been waiting quietly, ready to give their blessing only if Bai Lu accepted. The moment she said yes, they approached with tears in their eyes, embracing her warmly. Bai Lu, overwhelmed, fell to her knees, bowing to them in gratitude. The sight of her humbling herself before his family broke even the toughest hearts present. "You've been our daughter in spirit for a long time," his mother whispered. "Now, you will truly be ours." Fans' emotional frenzy. By the time videos of the night hit the internet, fans were already spiraling into emotional chaos. Comments flooded timelines. "This is not just love. This is destiny." From car crashes to wedding bells, "My heart can't take this." "Dylan Wang, are you watching this?" Some even claimed they hadn't stopped crying since seeing the footage, insisting this was the greatest real-life drama they had ever witnessed.